Hi, this video is to the House of Lords. I just wanted to spare a few minutes to express my extreme gratitude to you all for, residing over Britain and helping the British people and British Parliament to support the bankers in this time of crisis when they've gambled and squandered all our money away and, committed crimes of fraud and theft. I think you're just an amazing example of the law, the banker's law of might equals right, and I am in awe of the fact that you can just ignore universal law and our creator, Jah, because Jah doesn't exist at all, does he? And the church that put a crown on your Queen's head, it is just a facade, isn't it, for us plebs? I understand that now. I'm an awakened spirit. I just understand that we were meant to have just a facade of a belief in Jah, because Jah doesn't really exist, and Jah law doesn't exist. Universal law of abundance and compassion doesn't really exist, and none of you have got a soul, have you? Because there's no such thing as a human soul that lives on after our physical body has died. That's just a pack of lies, and it's just for the Archbishop of Canterbury to pretend to believe in, so he can put a crown on her head and pretend that it's from God for us plebs. But like I say, I'm an awakened spirit. I understand that. I understand that it's all a pack of lies about God and everything, and Jesus, Jesus was just a liar, and we're not supposed to live with compassion at all. We're not supposed to live in under the beneficence of universal law of abundance and compassion. We are meant to live under your banker's law of thrift and austerity, aren't we? Because that's the way that we're meant to be. And I was a bit stupid before, because I used to think that we had rights and things, and that my granddad was right, giving his life for human rights and things in World War II and fighting against Nazis. Because now I understand that, no, that's what we're supposed to be, really. We're supposed to be Nazis like you, because you're all happy, and it's up to us, the British people. The 80% of the British population has got to become impoverished now, haven't they? So that we can keep you in your seats, because otherwise, if we don't, then you're going to lose your seats, because otherwise the corporations won't give you any more money, the global corporations. And Britain's not meant to be Britain anymore. It's going to be like a global corporate state, isn't it? And that's what we want, because that's what we need now. Because those poor bankers, it's not their fault for gambling all our pensions away and things like that, just stealing off us and conning us and frauding us and everything, and living off usury, because that's what they're allowed to do, because that's the law, in it. Might equals right, the rapist law. And we in Britain, honestly, well, it's obvious, isn't it? We're happy living under a rapist law, because women, come on, we just have to accept reality. We are inferior to men, and we do need to live under a law of might equals right that supports rape, because we're just wombs. We're just there to give birth to the next generation, and for the corporations to make profits from, and even go to work to pay to raise our children, and even get into debt to raise our children, so that they can earn profits for the corporations that keep you all in wealth and power, and keep you all sitting on your lovely red benches there, and keep the Queen on her throne with her lovely husband. He is just so wonderful. What an amazing guy. He said he wants to come back. He wants to be reincarnated as a virus to wipe out half humanity. And, what nicer prince, regent could we ask for to be sitting on the throne next to the Queen of England. And alright, I know the People's Court of Brussels did find her guilty of crimes against humanity and have sentenced her to 25 years in prison, but I mean, that's just a pack of lies. It's just a stupid court. It doesn't make no difference, because only her court is important, because she's the Queen and she's like God, she's head of the church, and the Archbishop of Canterbury has sworn an oath to her, not to God. And that's why I just love our country, because it's just so real. It doesn't pretend to be human at all. And we're not humans. We have to accept that the British people are starting to accept now we are just corporate fodder. And I know before that we used to be cannon fodder, but now it's a new time, innit? We're in the 21st century, so we're not cannon fodder anymore. We're corporate fodder. And I have noticed the British people are just so happy with all of you. We just accept it, because now we understand. We have got to bow down now to the New World Order and let the global corporations come into our country. And I'm sure DynCorp, the global military corporation that you've invited into Britain, will be really ready and willing to surround the House of Lords if ever the British people start getting annoyed about you taking our human rights off people. But people like me now, awakened spirits, we understand. Only people like you are entitled to human rights, and obviously that's why Theresa May is going to give you all a Bill of Rights. If you're rich, you can have rights, and that's the way that it should be. And if you're rich, you should have rights to do whatever you like. You can be part of a satanic cult, or sexually abuse our children and things like that. And you can put police officers in power, in senior positions, and senior social workers, just to keep a lid on it all. Because there are still some people who have this strange idea that our children need to be raised with respect and dignity and compassion, and allowed to grow up without being sexually abused or traumatized or suffer extreme poverty. Because I mean, unlike some of the British people that are moaning, who are Luddites really, aren't they? Because they're just not getting with the new consciousness of the 21st century, that we have to understand. Compassion is it is too expensive. Compassion's too expensive. We can't be providing an NHS to people anymore. And people who get over 60 and things, really, we shouldn't be bothering giving them any health care, other than compassionate care, because, well, a bit of painkillers and stuff, because really they're just, by that time they're just a waste of time, aren't they? And I think it's right as well, that you've abolished like retirement, because nobody should have a right to retire or a pension and things like that, because it is just a total waste of time. They're just useless eaters, and what is the point? And what can I say except you're just so fantastic, you're so wonderful, you really are the gods on earth, aren't you? And we all need to bow down to you and worship at your feet, because you're just so wonderful. And your system of law, alright, it's completely corrupt, but it's only corrupted to us plebs. For you it isn't corrupt, is it? It's just working perfectly and helping to keep you all very comfortable and rich. And I do lose sleep sometimes worrying about the fact that Britain might possibly do in Iceland, and you lot might actually lose all your wealth and power and everything, which would be the most horrendous thing to happen on earth. And I'm just praying for you all and wishing you all the best, and really hoping that you find that you just keep it together, and DynCorp, I'm sure DynCorp are going to protect you. So peace and love to all of you.